Hey everybody, welcome to the Mountain Gamer on this gray winter day. Yeah, so I'm not doing these things outside right now, not until May, for sure. Anyway, today I'm going to be showing a way that you can play Village solo. Now, why am I playing Village solo? Well, first of all, if you don't know what Village is, it's a light Euro game, kind of a worker placement game that came out in 2011 and won the Kennerspiel in 2012. And Kennerspiel is an important award because Germans. Whatever. So it became very popular, and now I guess, people kind of forgot about it, but it's still rated, I think, like 7 point something on BGG, which is, huge. So I thought I would buy a copy for myself, but I did it very recently. Like, I didn't get on the Village train when it came out. I just, I got this thing like now, basically. And the reason for that is, A, I got it cheap, used from someone who lives in the area, and B, I don't own Euro games. Like, if you look at my top 10 list, it's all like, space and, dragons and adventure and deck builders and all that. I don't own any Euro games. So I thought, it's cheap, I'll try it. It looks okay. And it is okay. It's actually pretty fun. And I thought, okay, I'm going to, introduce my wife to this thing because she's the person I play the most with. And I set it up, I start teaching it to her, and after round one, she's like, nah, I don't want to play this. Okay, why? Because we have other games in which we can fight in space and kill dragons and So yeah, so it kind of went on the shelf, and that kind of pushed me to go on BGG and hunt for a solo variant. And I found one, and that's the one I'm going to be showing off today. I did not tweak this thing, this is as is, and it works very well. And I use it all the time because now I play Village solo. That's it. I don't even play with any other of my friends. I play Village solo, and it works well. So let's get into it right now. The Village solo variant, 3 years in the Village. It is called. Let's do it. The game will only be 3 rounds long. I find that it makes for a very tight, very, not overlong game, and I appreciate that. But if you want to play longer, that's entirely up to you, but I find that it works pretty well. So here I have a game set up for 2 players. This is like the standard setup that you would usually do even when you're playing without the AI. So just to be clear here, I have covered up the spaces that have 3s and 4s up here too. I've got my color here, so I'm yellow. I got all my stuff. I've got my little disc up there. As for the AI, you will be taking a color. Let's say he's red, and you'll put the disc up here to represent his scoring. You will also need another color of villagers, and that's going to be for the AI as well. But these guys, the blue guys, are going to be his competition monks. That's what the solo version calls them. And you'll be using them to put them in the bag. I'll get to that later. You will not be needing the first player token, nor the ring here that you usually put on the board, because you will always be the first player. Before we start getting into mechanics and all that, I should mention that the AI does not have any resources. None of this stuff. There's no bookkeeping or anything like that. It's his actions are pretty automated, and we'll get to those later. So when it's your turn, okay, besides playing normally, there are 2 things that the AI will kind of jump in during your turn and do. And those can be a real bummer, and you have to be aware of what those are going to be. Firstly is the market. When you pick up a cube to, let's say, go purchase this thing over here, well, right away, the AI will then steal or buy the highest one out of what's left. And then, of course, you can keep, buying stuff by paying a green cube and a time, to keep buying stuff. But this is potentially harmful because if, you get this for 3, he gets this for 6. And if you're unable to buy this, then, you got kind of screwed out of that. So you got to be very careful of when you take this specific action, because he will always jump in and steal the highest one that's left. The other sort of out of turn thing that the AI is going to do is when you put one of your villagers inside the bag, the church bag. As soon as you do this, the AI will take one of his competition monks, those blue guys, and put one in the bag as well. Now this can be a real pain in the butt because when you get to the church phase and you're, randomly pulling out 4 dudes out of there, well, for every one of yours, there is one of his. And also there's these 4 regular black monks in there as well. So yeah, so these are the two things that the AI is going to do during your turn. Besides that, how the gameplay is going to flow is you will take your action and then it's going to be the AI's turn. So on the AI's turn, what he's going to be, keep calling him a he, could be a girl, I'm sorry. What the AI is going to be doing is trying to take the same color cube that you took in the next possible space clockwise. For example, if my action was to take this cube and do, some sort of travel action, well then the AI would look for the next possible green cube in a clockwise order. So going here clockwise is this way and then coming back. So the next one would be here, and then he would take that and do some variation of this action. Okay, and I'll get to those later. If the AI was unable to find a green cube, let's say, none of those were there and I took green, well then he would still keep going clockwise, but he would stop on the first available black cube. And you got to keep track of what the AI is actually picking up, because when he has 2 black cubes, one of his villagers will die, therefore taking up a space in the book. And let's say he's picking up, let's say he already had a black cube and the next one he picks up is over here. Well then the villager would die in the this space over here, which is, I believe, this one. So you just take a guy from the supply and put him on this spot. I should mention, none of the numbers on the AI's meeple dudes have any value, okay? They're all the same. And so this is how the game is going to unfold. You will be taking an action, and then the AI will try to look for that same cube clockwise, and then taking, some sort of action related to those spaces. So let's get into those right now. Let's start with this place over here, the council, okay? Whenever the AI takes a council action, so in this sense, like how would the AI take this action? Well, let's say I took this cube over here, then the AI would look for the next orange one, he would pick this one up, and he would do the council action. So let's say this is what happens. So he picks up a cube, he does the council action. So what he's going to do is, if he has none of his guys in here, he will put one down on the lowest possible spot. If he already had a guy here, he would just bump him up 1 spot. So you got to watch out for this, because essentially every time the AI is taking cubes out of there, he goes up this track, and this is 6 points, 4 points, 2 points. So this potentially could earn him a lot of points at the end of the game. The church works in a very similar fashion. If the AI picks up a cube out of the church, what he's going to do is, same deal. He's going to put a guy on the lowest spot in the church. And if he already has a guy, he's going to bump him up. So again, 2, 3, 4, 6, that's a lot of points. So you got to be careful this is usually my strategy. Like, I'm not awesome at the game, but when I play solo, I really try and manage these 2 spaces. Because if you keep letting the AI pick up cubes from the church and he keeps bumping up there, that's a lot of points. Same thing with this. So that's how these 2 spaces work. The family spot is actually the best one, because when the AI picks up a cube from here, he does nothing. That's great. Okay, so keep an eye on that. The, what do they call this here? The craft. Whenever AI picks up a cube from there, he just gets a victory point. So you bump him up the track. The market, we kind of talked about this, but if the AI picks up a cube here, he will automatically grab the highest paying tile. And then you get to go and maybe buy another one. He will never get to buy more than 1, but he will always take the most expensive first. So that's that. The travel action. Now there are 2 modes here. You can play easy or hard, but I suggest playing on easy. So what's going to happen is when the AI picks up a cube from there, he just gains a VP. Last but not least, we have the harvest. And same thing, when he picks up a cube from the harvest, he just makes a VP. So to reiterate, here it's going to be a guy or bump him up. Here it's going to be nothing. Here he'll put a guy or bump him up. Here it's a VP. Over there he'll pick up the highest tile. Over here it's a VP, and over here it's a VP. And over here it's nothing. Okay, so I think that takes care of that. As far as the church phase, it's going to be pretty much like in the 2-player game. Same thing. When it gets to the church phase, you can pay money right away to go get your guys. And if you don't do that, then you'll draw 4 random dudes, and if you draw some of yours, you'll put them in the church. If you draw some of his, and there's a good chance of that, you'll also put them in the church, and then you can pay this grain here to bump up your guys. The AI cannot do this, okay? And at the end of the church phase, also, you get that 2 VP bonus for whoever's got the most of their villagers in the church. A few things I forgot to mention. Whenever the AI takes this council action here, he will never get any of these bonuses, okay? Only you get those. Also, the well action. The AI can never take this action because you need resources to actually activate this thing. So only you can take that. Now, when you do, the AI will only kind of jump in and do something if you take the market action. So if I spend some resources to activate the market thing, I will buy whichever I want, and then the AI will jump in and steal the highest one that's still available up there. So that's a bummer. One thing that the AI will not do is actually jump in on the church action. So I could spend resources to activate the church, pop a guy in the bag, and the AI would not follow, which is kind of the only way to, bypass that whole system of him always adding one of those darn competition monks. So take note of that. So with that being said, let's play a few rounds and you'll get a feel for it. Now, clearly, I won't play to the best of my abilities because I'm trying to get this done just for you guys to understand. So let's say that my first action is to make some grain. All right, so I'll take this brown cube and I have people over here, so I can make two grains. Okay, so I'm all happy about that. Next, I picked up brown, so the AI is going to go clockwise and he'll pick up this one here. So let's put this here to signify that this is what the AI is doing. And this activates the council. So now he's going to take one of his monks and put him in the lowest spot. All right, next, let's say I'm going to go to the craft section here. I'll pick up this pink cube and I'll send one of my family members to go learn how to do a thing. So let's say I'll put my person here. So by putting this person here, I need to spend 3 time to put the person here, and then I can spend another 3 time to actually build one of these things, or build, yeah, I don't know, I'm gonna grow an ox. So that's 6 time total, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which would bring it over here. And then I get me a fancy cow. All right, so I've got a fancy cow. Now this was a pink cube and I picked it up over here. So the next pink one would be in the family thing. And that's good because on the family space, the AI gets to do nothing. And that's good. Okay, I think the next thing I want to do is get one of these brown cubes here again to, for 3 time, get me another one of these oxes. So 1, 2, 3, I'll get another ox. And then that was a brown cube, so AI goes around, and brown is actually the church. Okay. So on the church, the AI would move his monk up, but he doesn't have any, so he'll put one of his guys in the lowest space in the church. So now, essentially, he's got 2 victory points at the end of the game. But, live and learn. Now I've got my 2 oxes, I've got 2 bags of money over here. I'm trying to get to the market eventually, okay? So what I'm going to do is, I could pick this up. See, if I pick this up, I'll have a green cube for later, because I want to buy 2 of these things up there. And if I pick this up, then the AI is going to pick this up, and he'll make a VP. So maybe this is smart. Let's try it, okay? So this is going to be me. I'm going to do this to, make a bebe. So I get to make a bebe. I'm all happy about that. And then green for the AI is over here. And on this space, he just gains a VP. We'll do that. Next, it's going to be my turn. So now I've got 2 of these wheat bags and 2 of these oxes. So I'm thinking I could go buy that 3 and that 4 over there. So if I wanted to do that, I could now activate this tile. So I'd take green. And I would want to say then, okay, I'm gonna buy this one here, right? So I'll buy this for 4 victory points by paying an ox and one of these bags of money. Put that back in the supply, and now the AI gets to jump in and he'll buy this for 6. Whoops. So this is essentially bad. Let's put this here. This is going to be the AI stuff. And then I get to continue by paying 1 time and 1 green to buy this other thing, and I can buy it because I have an ox. So let's say I want to do that. So 1 time, my guy's going to die. I have to remember that. And 1 of these green cubes. Put that back in the supply. And then I get this for 3. Let's just pay the ox. Okay, now 1 of my guys died, and let's say I'm going to kill off this dude here. Sorry, Timmy, your life at the farm was short, but no one could produce bags of grain as well as you could. So that happened. Now, I was doing green. So that means on the AI's turn, he's still going to try and do green. So the next one after this one is here. So he'll pick that up. And in this section, he gains a VP. So I was feeling pretty good about my 7 here, but he actually got something for 6 and he made a VP. So he made 7. So here you see the puzzly kind of nature of this whole thing. You really have to, because you know what the AI is going to do on its turn, you have to incorporate all of that into your own strategy. When you're playing with somebody else, you can kind of guess, whereas here you absolutely know what they're going to do. So it's very much, you know, how will I maximize or how will I minimize the damage done by the AI in comparison to what my actions are going to be, if that makes any sense. Okay, let's try something else here. So I'm going to be taking, let's say, this black cube. Now, why would I take a black cube? Well, because if I take orange, he's going to take this one over here and make a VP automatically. So I'm like, do I give him a VP right away, or do I, you know, oh, he's still going to take a VP here. Yeah, if I take this, he'll take the next black one, which is one of these, and he'll make a 1 VP because he's in the craft area. So either way, I'm kind of screwed with this one. So, I mean, let's just do it because. So let's say, well, you know what? I'll take an orange one. So I'll take orange, and then I get to put one of my guys in the bag if I have 3 time and one of these brown cubes. If not, then I can just take the cube and do nothing. But let's say I want to do that. So I'll pay one of these brown cubes and 3 times. So 1, 2, 3. And I'll put my number 2 here, Susie. Susie has always been my number 2. And I will put her in the bag. Now when I do this, the AI jumps in automatically and puts in a competition monk into the bag as well. So now it's 1 for 1 plus 4 of these black monks. Now this was me picking up a orange cube. So the next one in line is this one. So he'll steal that and he'll make a VP. So he's already at 3 over here, which is not so good. Okay, next what I'm going to do is I'll remove this cube here, orange, to activate the council. Actually, I can't even do that because if I wanted to put one of my guys in here, it would cost time, but also green cubes and scrolls, and I'd have none of that, so forget my plan. Okay, so what I'm going to do now then is take, because I want to get some new people. So let's say I'll take, yeah. I could take the family action for a black cube, and then I would make a little bebe. We will call her Jessica. And then the AI would take the next available black cube, which is the church. See, that was a very bad decision on my part, because now the AI will move a guy up here. Oh my. Now, if this had already been like that, and he would have picked up a black cube, he would not put a new guy here. He would always try to make this guy go up, and then you start adding new guys. So no new monks will be added to this track until this particular dude reaches this spot here, just so you know. And I mean, the options are getting pretty limited. I can't pick this thing up. I mean, I can pick it up. I'll get an orange cube. That's something. All right, let's say just for shirts and giggles here, I'm going to take this black cube here. Did I forget when I took a black cube? Yeah, when you take a black cube, you got to move this thing up twice, I believe. Yeah, when I picked up that other black cube, this was supposed to have moved up by 2, so I'm going to move it up by 4. So 1, 2 for the other time, and then 1, 2. So we're all kosher on that. So I was picking up a black cube here to actually make some farming actions here. So I'm going to do this here. So I'll grab 2 of these wheat sacks. So wheat and wheat. And this now means that the AI is going to pick up here, which would give him a VP because he's in the craft section. But also, whenever the AI gets 2 of these black cubes, one of his villagers will kick the bucket. Now, this thing came from this section, so that means that the AI's villager died in the craft section. So you'll take one of his guys. He's red, let's remember that. So you'll take one of his red guys. Again, these numbers have no meaning. And you will now put them in the big book of history according to the color or the space in which the person died. So we picked up the black cube from the yellow place. So we'll put his guy here in the yellow space of the book. And now, I mean, there's only one thing left to do. I mean, I could pick up this black cube, but there's really no use. So I'll pick up this one, pick this up. I can't do anything there, but at least I have the cube. And next it goes over here. He has no other choice. If there was an orange cube somewhere, he would take it, but there are none. So he would go to black, and that's what we have here. So he would take this, put it there. He would still gain a VP. And now this is the end of the first round. Now, visibly, I have done pretty much horribly, okay, at this. So now we move on to the church phase. So in the church phase, you grab the bag, and you're supposed to remove 4 monks at random. Now, I could pay $1 to go get my guy out. Now, the reason you would want to pay to get some guys out is, in these solo rules, it says that you only keep drawing if you still have guys in the bag. So if I pay 1 gold to go get my 1 yellow guy, okay, out of this bag, then he goes in the church. This means that we don't keep drawing 4, up to 4 guys. We stop drawing, which that's not how it works in the regular game, but in this, solo version, that's how it does. So if I want to ensure that my guy goes into the church and also make sure that none of the competition monks get out of the bag, then paying for them to get out is basically the only way to get this. Because if you don't pay, I mean, we can do it right now. He's got 1 guy, I've got 1 guy, and we've got 4 of these black dudes. So, see, there you go. Okay, so yeah, we've got 2 guys now, and that's not good. So the only way that these competition blue monks are going to get taken out of the bag is if you have guys in the bag. So essentially, you could almost forget this whole section here, right? Like you could try to never put your guys in the bag so that he never puts his guys in the bag. That's one way. So once you finish drawing monks out of the bag, then what you'll do is, because you're the first player, you actually get to put your guy in the first spot here, but then, of course, he's going to go there. And then if you have some of this sweet wheat, well, you can pay to bump up your guys. So in this case, I could pay 1 wheat to just go here. And if I was so inclined, I could pay 2 wheats to actually bump him up over here. So there you have it. And then you would slide those tiles up there, like those 3 would go up here. And you'd get some new ones out. And then you'd put cubes into the bag as per the card here and play a second round. And at the end of the 3rd round, you would count up all the VPs, and whoever's got the most is the winner of 3 Years in the Village solo variant. So try it out. Let me know what you think in the comments. If you like this thing, you can hit up the original poster on Board Game Geek and tell him about it. He or she will be happy to learn that you like it. That's always a good thing. So yeah, try it out. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I will see you on the next one. And if you want some more videos, YouTube thinks you might like the one on the left. I personally think you might enjoy the one on the right. And if you want to make sure to never miss any of my videos, I would ask you to click the middle button here to, of course, subscribe.